Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Phenessa Empowers podcast. I am Dr. Phenessa, empowerment coach, author, and owner of Phenessa Empowers, a personal and professional development coaching service for women empowered to reign. In the last broadcast, we talked about co-signing to what others say about you. Today, we're going to talk about number 3 of those self-defeating behaviors, saying yes when you want to say no. Authenticity and self-awareness are essential. Are you being your authentic self? Do you value your voice? You are an amazing person and deserve to be respected. Don't worry if you're not feeling that way right now, because by the end of this broadcast, you'll be empowered to value your voice and practice the respect you deserve. There are a few phrases being tossed around these days about keeping it real or keeping it 100. I know I've used them and wouldn't be surprised if you did too. Yet there are moments when keeping it 100 may be difficult for whatever reason. Perhaps you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You may fear retaliation or dismissal if you disagree with the boss at your business meeting. Your significant other asks a personal question and you know your answer isn't something they want to hear. Your plate is full and someone you admire asks you to do something for them. These scenarios and many more are invitations to your truth. They are opportunities to challenge your resolve. Question is, are you up for it? Whatever your answer is, it's an awesome invitation to be your authentic self. The Psychology Dictionary defines authenticity as the quality of being genuine and true to one's own values. With so many different ideals and convictions, it may appear easier to succumb to peer pressure and go with the crowd. Many believe that keeping the peace during conflict means acquiescing to the popular vote or compromising strong personal beliefs to avoid further conflict. This approach is dishonest and doesn't solve anything. As a matter of fact, hiding one's head in the sand could bring more conflict, especially when dealing with strong-willed people. Although there are numerous ways to approach an uncomfortable situation, I believe knowing our value in the uncomfortable is important. We must know who we are, what we can and cannot handle, what we stand for, and respect our voices. An old quote comes to mind from Socrates, "Know thyself." Knowing thyself is a foundational step called self-awareness and the first aspect of exercising your emotional intelligence muscle. Self-awareness means knowing what we are feeling in the moment, using those preferences to guide our decision-making, having a realistic assessment of our own abilities and a well-grounded sense of self-confidence. It also means that you accept every aspect of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's going to be impossible to value your voice when you're not fully aware of what your voice is, and we can't expect anyone else to. As the saying goes, we teach people how to treat us. You're worth the effort it takes to expose and empower your awesomeness. Major question for you. Do you value your voice? We can't expect others to value our voice if we don't value it. We may have experienced situations that taught us what we had to say wasn't valid and we gave in. But we don't have to continue to sacrifice our voices for the sake of keeping the peace or avoiding conflict. What you have to say matters. How you feel matters. You matter. Despite any trials or tribulations that you've overcome, realize that you overcame them. It didn't beat you. You may be weary from the battle, but you're still here, and thank God for that. God's word says in Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16, "You are the salt of the earth. But if that salt loses its savor, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they set it on a lampstand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." My friends, your voice reveals the light inside of you. Don't hide it. I don't care what anyone had to say about you. God says that you are the light of the world. So part of letting your light shine before men is being your authentic self and speaking your truth. And being who God made you to be and sharing your authenticity is a way of glorifying God. It's saying, "Lord, I believe what you said about me is true, and I'm going to be who you made me to be." This is key in saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Next, let's discuss several solutions in valuing your voice. To review, self-defeating behavior number 3 is saying yes when you want to say no. How many times have you said yes to someone because you didn't want to hurt their feelings or cared what they might think about you? This is operating from a place of dishonesty. Your relationships with others, no matter who it is, should be based upon absolute truth. If a relationship cannot survive your truth, then it's probably time to reevaluate it. And it's also time to reevaluate you. How do we value our voices? In Matthew chapter 5, verse 37, it gives a simple solution to valuing your voice. It says simply, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything more comes from the evil one. So technically, we're not doing anyone any favors by compromising our authenticity. Our God is great, and He gave us great purpose. It's time out for playing small. As easy as it may be to shrink back, once we boldly speak up, we are one step closer to overcoming this behavior. Other ways to value our voice is self-assessment. God helps us know ourselves through the Holy Spirit, His Word, and through relationships with others, personally and professionally. Accurate self-assessment can be developed by practicing the following: requesting feedback, creating a culture where it's safe to provide feedback, being open to learn and gain new insights, taking personality or behavior inventories, and honestly analyzing our strengths and weaknesses to make behavior adjustments when necessary. These solutions have definitely helped me become more aware. I pray they help you too. You will find what works for you, and the Lord will guide you in this process of discovering or strengthening your authentic self. Remember, your yes matters and your no matters too. If you don't feel right about something, say something. You may be the voice that allows someone else to unleash theirs. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. As you begin learning more about your authentic self, it will become easier to value your voice. Speak your truth, shine your light, and be blessed, my friends.